மறக்காம சர்ப்ரைஸ் பண்ணுங்க. Thank you.
I'm very, very excited in bringing you my complete course on the Caro Kann. Now, I'm going to tell you in this introduction exactly what I hope you get out of this course, what's presented in this DVD, as well as my expertise on presenting the subject. Now, when I say this is a complete course, I seriously mean it. I hope that after watching this presentation and also going through the accompanying files, you will have a defense against e4 that will serve you for the next 5-10 years even. This is going to be, my hope is that this presentation is going to be your number one choice to build your repertoire, and it's going to be your source for having a solid, well-prepared variation that is going to give your opponents lots of trouble in getting any advantage against you and even giving you very promising positions early on. Now, I've been playing the Caro Kann for about 9 years. I started playing the Caro Kann when I was around 12 years old and was an expert. I've played it up until now, until I became 2500 International Master. So I've got quite a bit of experience with the opening, playing it against Class B, A players, Masters, International Masters, and even Grandmasters. And I've also gotten quite a bit into teaching, and I have many students who mostly range in the rating levels between 1000 and 2300. And for many of those students, I have also shown them some of my repertoire, and in many cases I was actually forced to come up with some novel approaches for them that would work best in the games of my students, many of who would not play master opposition almost every tournament like I would, but instead would be playing lots of other club players, lots of other players who would not necessarily be so high rated. So by doing so, I have not only gained experience in knowing what works against strong opposition or master opposition, but also knowing which variations could be very strong in exploiting the gaps in knowledge and the gaps in understanding that a lot of club players have. And in this DVD, I have absolutely nothing being held back. In this DVD, you will see that I'm giving at almost every variation, I'm giving black 2 or even 3 options. And the breakdown is going to be as follows. Basically, I'm going to be giving you one heavy option, heavy-duty option, an option that I've used against Masters, for example, and an option that I believe is very, very strong, but does require quite a bit of work in many cases. But I'm also going to be presenting a separate repertoire, which you can, it's up to you. You can use this repertoire, you can combine, mix and match, see what works best. But in many cases, the second repertoire is something that I've either used in the past, or I've used as a surprise weapon, or I have my students use it. And these variations, I believe, are very strong at playing against players who may not be as high rated, and these would be very effective at exploiting their lacks of knowledge. And at times, I mentioned, I've also included a third variation, sometimes a variation I think is very interesting, sometimes a variation that I believe has a lot of surprise value, and in general just wants to give you more options that I've explained very thoroughly in order to just give you more choices to match whatever your style is. So, like I said, this DVD is a very, very complete course that I hope you will be able to use in all your games when you face e4. Now, the Caro Kann opening used to be known as sort of like a boring type of variation, maybe drawish, maybe leading to prospect-less position, but that is very, very far from the truth. Especially in recent years, a lot of the Grandmaster, or a lot of the famous connoisseurs of this opening have discovered variations that make this opening quite exciting. Now, what type of openings are Caro Kann, and does it fit your style? Well, if you're a purely 100% gung-ho attacking player, this variation is probably not for you. In fact, you should probably be playing the Sicilian. But if you're anything below that, and I'm not talking about, we're not making extremes. You do not have to be a purely positional player. You can simply be a universal player, a player who both can play in tactical and positional positions. The Caro Kann is a perfect opening for you. It leads to a very rich, very diverse positions, many of which rely on some positional play, and in cases we also have some aggressive play involving opposite side castling, and as I've mentioned, lots of choices, so you can often mix and match which positions you want to play. So I believe the Caro Kann is a very good opening for generally well-rounded players just looking to get a game where they can beat their opponent. And all in all, compared to the other options black can play against e4, like the Sicilian, the French, e5, king's pawn, I believe the Caro Kann has a lot of value in the essence that, compared to those other lines, the Caro Kann, in my opinion, comparatively has less information to digest, but the returns are just as great. I think it's a really strong opening, very sound opening, and can be used to very good effect, but requires not that much study time compared to those other ones. So I hope that after watching this DVD, you will feel the same way, and that that the Caro Kann will become a friend for life for your chess, just as it has been mine for the past almost decade. So I very much am looking forward to seeing you for the rest of this presentation, and hope that you learned a lot.
மறக்காம சர்ப்ரைஸ் பண்ணுங்க. தேங்க்யூ.